food-based thing, but it actually works beautifully and soothes and nourishes all of those tissues in there and really helps to nourish and clear this center, which is related to the Vishuddhi. This is kind of off topic for today, but it's on my mind because I was having the sniffles, not because I had a cold, but just because of the cold temperatures. And so anyway, we called it the ghee. It's a ghee treatment for this chakra here, which is called Hamsa chakra.
It's good to know. Thank you. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm sure at another session they'll go into more detail about Hamsa chakra and talk about this treatment as well. And welcome to Anna, also just joining. Hello. I was just talking about how it's very, very cold up here in the Northeast. Are you in the Northeast or?
I'm actually in Austria. Hi.
Okay. Oh, lovely, lovely.
Yeah, it's pretty cold here as well.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
You're having a cold snap?
Sorry?
Are you having what they call a cold snap? Like
I do constantly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, here in the US we're having a lot of extreme temperatures, so it's a challenge, but at least today we have bright sunshine, so I can feel thankful for that. It helps to keep the spirits up despite the cold. So
Sure
does anybody have any questions, or is anybody here in the side room for the first time? Anyone who's joined so far? Oh, we've got lots of people joining, I realize now. Diraj, Jenny, Chris, Rana. So welcome to everybody. If you have not been in the side room before, please let me know. Otherwise, in which case I will explain about the foot soaking technique. If you are not new to the side room, then you're probably familiar with this technique. Hello, this is my second time. Okay, great. Good to know. So we understand that the foot soak is a way that we use the elements to cleanse our chakras, which we do in a lot of different ways. We have that access to the power and the qualities of the different elements that when we combine it with the meditation, it gives us a way to cleanse ourselves physically and subtly, most importantly, on the subtle channels within us, the left, right, and central channels, and the chakras. And Jamie was just saying how she's very, very close to the ocean where she is, but if we don't happen to be close to the ocean, this is the next best thing. Because the water and the salt, that combination basically creates an ocean effect for us that we can take advantage of as in a combination with the meditation. So if you have not set up your Footsoak bowl yet, this is a good chance to do that. We'll be starting in about 5 or 10 minutes. We'll be starting the meditation. Meanwhile, for anyone just joining, again, my name is Christine and I'm from the Boston area in New England. I've been practicing Sahaj since I was quite a youngster. I look back and wish I knew then what I know now. But I was fortunate to have some opportunities to spend a little bit of time with Shrimataji in person and, learn things directly from her and just enjoy her wonderful generosity and her persistence actually with bringing this method, which she pioneered, to as many people as possible and in a very loving way. So my experience with her, my first experience was in 1981 when she visited Boston. On her way, she sort of took a side trip from a visit that she was paying to New York. She was spending about a week in New York to give free public programs there. And we invited her to come up to Boston if she was willing, and she was graciously accepted and came and gave the first public program in Boston in 1981. So that was, and it was a small group of people at that time, because it was very, very early days in terms of Sahaja Yoga becoming the worldwide phenomenon that it has now become. This was very early days, and there was very little practice of Sahaja Yoga going on, little or none, I would say, in the United States. So these were just some really initial explorations, actually, and introducing this method of Sahaja Yoga meditation to the United States and kind of laying a foundation. So that's sort of a little bit about my background. Anyone else who would like to share about their background or any questions that you may have? Oh yeah, so today's topic is going to be about how music relates to the chakras. So, and I'll talk a little bit more about this. I'm not sure if we can go ahead and start if we have everybody or if we're still waiting for some people. Is that right, Rahul?
Yeah, we still have 5 minutes.
Okay, we still have 5 minutes. So I'll talk more about this in a little bit, but there is a relationship between the chakras and the notes of the scale. And the syllables that we're going to be using today are pertain to Indian music, but it's a 7-note scale. And we also have a 7-note scale in Western music. So happens that I'm a Western classical musician. I have only very, very little, knowledge about the Indian music, but just a touch, enough, I think, for us to engage in experiment and seeing how these different notes of the scale relating to the different chakras can enhance our meditation. And Shrimataji, also, we have a video where she talks a little bit about the importance of music, along with some other things. It's actually a question answer session that we're going to be listening to, which is very, very, very interesting. If you haven't had a chance to listen to a question answer session that Shrimataji would give at the end of programs, it's very fascinating, actually, to see how she handles people's questions, and actually to hear the seekers' questions, many of which are very engaging and very much to the point of understanding, having a clearer understanding of the experience of self-realization. So, and this particular one, I think, was from Boston, believe it or not. Not from 1981, but from 1983. So we'll be hearing that in a little bit. So for foot soaking, we have our bowl of water with the salt in it. We have a little cup of water. Let's see, I actually need to get my rinse cup. So I'm going to just step out for a moment so I can get my rinse water. Otherwise, I'm going to be stuck here. I was forgetting something. So, and we'll have a cleansing meditation while we sit with our feet in the water. But this is something that, so for me, it's morning, and I'm foot soaking in the morning. Most people like to make a habit of foot soaking towards the end of the day, because we start with our morning meditation, and hopefully, most likely get to a point where we're experiencing the silence, the thoughtless awareness, maybe feeling also some vibrations in the morning. And then we go out about our day. And because we're creating a channel ourselves, we kind of become a channel, or we might accumulate sort of superficial negativities that we want to get rid of at the end of the day, things that may not even belong to us. It's almost like we become a barometer for what's going on in our own environment. And a nice way to deal with that so that we, can kind of divest ourselves of anything that is interfering, any impurities or anything like that, is to use this foot soaking technique at the end of the day. Many people will maybe foot soak as soon as they get home from work, or another nice time is to foot soak right before going to bed. And then when your sleep can be very, very peaceful and relaxed, exceptionally restorative if you have had that chance for 10 to 15 minutes before going to bed to have this cleansing experience and have a little bit of meditation combined with it. And then when we're done with the foot soaking and the meditation, guided meditation, we'll rinse our feet off, rinse the salt water off of our feet, and we will dispose of the water into the toilet. And that's the process. So again, we're almost ready to start, but I'm going to just ask one more time if there's anyone who's brand new to the side room or anybody who has any questions of any kind before we start.
We have Paul, who is joining first time.
We have what? I'm sorry?
We have one participant who is joining first time.
So we have one new person new to the room. Is that what you said, Rahul?
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right. So hopefully you've joined. And what's in it? What is the name of the new person?
His name starts with Paul.
Paul. Okay. Welcome, Paul. So we were just explaining about the technique of foot soaking, which hopefully you were able to catch some of that. If you don't happen to have things ready right now for your foot soak, that's okay. You can be ready with your foot soak bowl and all of your the rinse water and everything else you need for next time. And for this time, you can just follow along the meditation. It's perfectly all right if you don't happen to have things prepared for today. So, okay. So if there's no questions, I think we can get started. And the first thing we'll do is the technique that you see on the screen. It's raising our Kundalini. So we take our left hand and we're going to raise it through in front of the center of our body. And while we do that, the right hand wraps around the left hand. So we start this right from the base of our torso and lift our hand while we wrap the right hand around. And we're going to do this a total of 3 times. And on the 3rd time, if you like, you can tie 3 knots above your head. This way we are fixing the Kundalini, the mothering energy above our heads. And then we do the bandhan, which is the protection that we put around ourselves, starting with the left hand open on the left side of the body. The right hand wraps this energy around ourselves, again, from left hip to right hip. We do this about 7 times also. And the next thing we want to do is give positive vibrations to the foot soak water. And we do this by keeping our left hand open on our laps to receive the energy. And the right hand is going to face towards the water. And with a circular movement, you can use a circular or a spiral movement. We're going to aim some vibrations into the water. And while we do this, we just inwardly ask that let this foot soak water become vibrated and activated to be used for the purpose of cleansing my inner being, my subtle self. So we're directing our attention to the water, our enlightened attention, to put vibrations into the water, and then we can go ahead and put our feet into the water. Let's close our eyes and take a moment to make sure that we're physically relaxed. We can take a couple of deep breaths and just check in with our body that we're not holding tension in any of the places that we might normally become tense or tight, such as across our chest, our shoulders, our neck or our jaw, or across our eyebrows. And take a deep breath and let the air out slowly. And again. And we generally like to cleanse both the left side channel of our emotions and the right side channel of our activity. We can keep our eyes open for meditation or closed, whatever feels the most natural and comfortable. And our attention can be relaxed but alert. So to clear the left side channel, we're going to drop our right hand down towards the Mother Earth. So we're receiving the positive vibrations in through the left hand, and we're eliminating any impurities or obstructions on our chakras. Any imbalances from the left side, we're releasing that into the Mother Earth. And we can ask this Mother Kundalini to please cleanse this left side energy channel of my past and my emotions. Any unnecessary memories or baggage from the past. Please cleanse out any imbalance or excess of my emotional being into this Mother Earth. And when we feel lighter on our left hand, we should begin to feel lighter on the left side. Sometimes the left side gets a little heavy feeling, or maybe overly cold, or sort of numb. And when we should, with this technique, feel lighter on the left hand, or if you're feeling cool breeze on the left side. Then we can bring our right hand back onto our lap. And now let's work on cleansing the right side channel of our activity, our both mental and physical activity, and of our sense and our concept of the future. To do this, we're going to bend it left hand at the elbow and point our fingers towards the sky with the palm facing backwards. We're using the element of the air to draw off any excess of heat or tension that may be built up on the right side. If we overuse the right side, we tend to experience heat, tension, frustration, expectations. We want to just release all of that into the air element. So we can say, Mother Kundalini, please cleanse and balance this right side channel. Calm down and soothe down any overactivities or over effortfulness of the right side, and release it into the air element. And then we can relax our left hand back down onto our lap as well. And now bring our attention into the center of our body, the central channel, which is the integration of the left and the right side. And when we are clear on the left and right side channel, then we become clear in the central channel, and the Kundalini can rise much more strongly. So by putting our attention onto the center of our body, maybe the vicinity of the spinal cord, and bringing our own attention in onto the center. And as we do that, we can allow our attention to rise up to the top of our heads, or the top of the brain, which is the limbic area of the brain. We can put our right hand above our heads if we want to feel for the flow of energy above our heads. We may feel a very gentle sensation of a flowing breeze, either a warm breeze or a cool breeze above our heads. The warmth just means that we're, again, the Kundalini is clearing the path, and that the heat is moving out, and we just can let it come out. The cool means that the energy is flowing smoothly and clearly. We can also check above our heads with the left hand. Sometimes one hand is more sensitive than the other. And then bring our hands back down and let's for 1 or 2 minutes just stay in silence with our attention in the limbic area of the brain, in the crown of the head, or just above. Making sure that we're staying relaxed, physically relaxed, but alert. And we can bring this part of our meditation to a close by just gradually opening your eyes if your eyes have been closed, slowly. Seeing what you feel on your hands. And we're going to rinse our feet now and dispose of our foot soak water. Take 2 or 3 minutes of a break just to take care of that, get that done. And when we come back, we'll talk about today's topic and continue our meditation. So let's take 2-3 minutes to dispose of our foot soak water. Rinse our feet and dispose of the foot soak water. Welcome back, everyone. So we will continue with our meditation today with a lovely exercise, making use of music. Very simple. It's nice that we've had some music already today to accompany our meditation. And the topic for today is about the musical scale and how we can use the musical scale which is a 7-note scale, and we have 7 chakras, to help us guide our attention and awaken our 7 chakras, starting from the root chakra. We have 7 syllables in the Indian classical music scale, sa, re, ga, ma, pa, ta, ni. And then we'll come back around to sa, as most scales do. Finally, the eighth note will be coming back around to the same as the first note. And we have a lovely video that will guide us through a meditation on these chakras, on these sounds. So the chakras themselves do have sounds associated with them. And this is one way for us to use this correspondence between the scale and the chakras can help us to focus our attention and bring our attention onto the different centers one by one and raise our attention up to the topmost chakra. So let's try this meditation today, that we have a nice video that will guide us through singing the notes of the different scales as we put our attention on each chakra.
We start with putting our attention in the Muladhara chakra. Here we sing 3 times on Sa. Sa. We move our attention to the Swadhisthana chakra. And here we sing on Re. Re. We move our attention to the Nabhi chakra. And here we sing on Ga. Ga. We move our attention to the heart chakra. And here we sing on Ma. We move our attention to the Vishuddhi chakra. And here we sing on Pa. We move our attention to the Agya chakra. Here we sing on Da. we move our attention to the Sahasrara chakra. Here we sing on Ni. And lastly, we sing one time on the high Sa. Sa. Let's sit in silent meditation.
So I hope you found that exercise, as I did, very helpful by using the steps of the scale as stepping stones to put our attention through the 7 chakras on the central channel. And you can do also placing your hands, I meant to mention earlier before the meditation, to place your hands on the different centers. And if you're able, while you say the syllables, of course, we don't have to memorize these syllables necessarily, but they are very effective in resonating with the different chakras. And maybe we can put those syllables into the chat for anyone who wants to make a copy towards the end of our session today. The sa re ga ma pa tha ni sa. Yeah, we can do that. I think we can put that into the chat. Or better yet, well, it looks like Rahul is sharing that that video, which I thought was just lovely when I first encountered it. And that's why I so much wanted to share it with you. So now we're going to go to a video of Shimataji, an excerpt of a question answer session that I believe is from Boston in 1983. And she does touch upon music, the importance of music, and how, you know, the way these notes of the scale are woven into music, both in Indian classical music, also in much of Western music, Western classical music, or as the basis of other Western music styles. These 7 notes, the 7-note progression is part of, really globally, it's part of music. And if you are discreet and choose the right kind of music to accompany your meditation, it can really enhance that. So, but we'll let Shimataji speak and give us some information, not just on music, a couple other topics as well, and try to stay in this state of meditation while we listen to the talk.
Yes. When the Kundalini rises up, does it always maintain a position, or does it ever go back down?
When the Kundalini rises, does it maintain that position or does it go down again?
That's true. It goes down also in many people. It goes down. It comes up and goes down. You see, in some people it does. I mean, I would say that it remains very much there. But with many people it goes down. And the reason why it goes down is because it comes with a flood, you see, because it faces me, it knows me, it comes up like a flood. And then it goes down because you need nourishment in different centers. Supposing you have a problem somewhere, it goes and nourishes you. Then again it nourishes. Very sweetly it comes up again. But if you know, once you have touched this and it has come out of it, and if you know how to raise it again and again, you can bring it up. That's what you have to learn after realization, and that is called as Shuddha Vidya, means the true knowledge of divine activity. Once you know that how to, it's very simple, you have to use only your hands. Like this you have to move it and bring it up. You have to give yourself a balance a little bit, only because it's flowing through your hands. That's all, and you can manage. It's not difficult. You can establish. Little bit in the beginning, about a month, you'll have to work it out. But not all. I'm saying just a few people really get it, like we say Steve was like that. He got it.
Yes.
What's it?
Is all of this really happening?
Yeah. It is too fantastic to believe. It is happening, has to happen sometime. God, who has created this creation, you see, is worried. And He has to look after His creation, isn't it? He is anxious. It has to happen. After all, we are not responsible for this creation. He has created it, so He has to jolly well look after it. It's happening. You can't believe it, isn't it? It will work out. Have faith in yourself. That's all. You must have faith in yourself, in nothing else.
Yes.
A couple of questions. While doing Sahaja Yoga techniques, which I have been taught, is it okay to, be like a worshiper of Jesus Christ also? Will that interfere in any way? And also want to, how about like I'm a musician in the practice of my music, can that be like bhakti yoga? Can I use that as a meditation? Could I use that excuse?
Of course. But you become discreet, you see, after that. You start understanding the music which is good for your spirit, which is not good for you, your spirit. And you become dynamic. I mean, you know about Indian music, something? Indian music? No. So many Indian musicians have got realization, and after realization they have become absolutely tremendous. So you become tremendous, but you become discreet then. You start understanding what music will really give joy of the spirit. And you start playing, and the joy of the spirit is the main thing people are seeking, that's the eternal music. Because all other type of music comes up and goes down. But only the one that gives joy remains eternally. All those, like we say Mozart. Mozart was a realized soul, and his music gives joy to the spirit, because you start feeling the vibrations when you hear it. Like artists also, like we can say Michelangelo was a realized soul. When you see his paintings in the Sistine Chapel, you see, you have been to Rome, you start feeling the vibrations from that.
He asked another half of the question, can he remain worshipping the Lord Jesus Christ once he gains his
Of course, Lord
realization?
Jesus Christ plays a very great importance, but you must understand him in a full way. You should not just take it from the Bible, because Bible cannot contain Christ. It's only 3.5 years of his age is there. There are so many books you have described him, and you have to see what he is really, what importance he has. I wish people had gone out of Bible and seen what great person he is. Today you will be surprised, people like Jews who believe in Christ very much, Muslims believe in Christ very much, much more than Christians can believe, because they are realized souls and they know what is his position in realization.
I would like to know more about the hands. You were speaking on the I guess, senses in the hands.
She wants to know more about the sensations and the sense of the
That is all
hands.
written down in the book. You will understand that these are 5 centers, 6 and 7 centers on the left-hand side, and the same way on the right-hand side. But what they denote as in the book is there, and we give the books after you have got realization, not before that. Because before that, if I give the book again, you go into mental projections. You see, so we are teaching you in this way that first you get your realization. Then only the first book is given. Because if you give the last book, it's too much for you to bear. So first book you have to read and digest it. Like that, as you have to grow really in Sahaja Yoga, you have to become. There is no other interest that you have to become, so we gradually sort of make you understand it so that you can digest it.
If you're a person who, can't say sees things, but has visions, when you come under realization, will that go away, or will it be stronger, or will it stay, or what?
What is it?
If you're a person who has visions and such like, after realization, does that get stronger or does it go away?
The visions are not all right. You should not see visions. That means you are not normal. You are on the right-hand side. If you are on the right-hand side, you start seeing visions. The other day we had one boy who used to see auras and visions. But he told me his head is heavy all the time. He feels very heavy. And that he doesn't feel all right. And we had to remove that. Because you must see the present, the reality as it is. At the time of Christ, people started seeing visions of Moses. But Christ was there living, they denied. They were thinking of Moses. They had the visions of Moses and Abraham. What about Christ who is living? Now today I am here, now you will think taking visions of Christ. What about me? I am here in the present. So you have to be in the present, not in the future or in the past. But when you see visions, it could be from the past or from the future. Like in India, people see visions, and they have their own visions of the Devis and goddesses and all that. And then they deny everything. They say that, no, how are we to believe in Christ or his mother or anything? But when they come to the present, they understand that they were all there. They are there in the present. Because you become one side. Vision is not a normal thing. It's not very good. And those people who see visions end up into very bad life. Very bad life, because it's not normal. You will know gradually how you see visions also, what happens to you. But after realization, you just come in the center.
Yes.
In Sahaja Yoga, does the Kundalini go beyond the crown chakra?
What is it?
In Sahaja Yoga, does the Kundalini go beyond the 7th chakra?
Of course. It can go beyond, much beyond. But depends on, see how you are. It has to go. It is for the complete growth of a person. There are 3 centers above that, which you have to cross. There are some people who have crossed it, no doubt. There are some. But you see, they are very assiduous, I should say. Also, they are category, I should say. There are so many things about them, the quality itself. You can ascend much more. 7th chakra is the beginning. It's just the beginning.
It's exciting to think that we have chakras that actually exist that are above the Sahasrara chakra. But it's all part of the evolutionary process. To begin with, we establish ourselves in thoughtless awareness, in the Sahasrara chakra. And then we take whatever the next steps are that are appropriate for our ascent. So to finish our meditation today, let's bring our attention into the Sahasrara. Beyond any thoughts. You can notice any thoughts and witness them. You can ask yourself the question, what am I thinking? You may find the answer is, I'm not thinking anything. And then you can enjoy that thoughtless state. But if you have thoughts, have questions, you can just watch. Put yourself at a distance. And allow all such thoughts to just quietly go on their way, quietly dissipate. If you are having thoughts coming in, you can put your right hand across your forehead and inwardly just say, I am not these thoughts. I am not any thoughts. I am not these memories. I am not any thoughts of the future or memories of the past. May I go beyond thoughts into the reality. And again, bring your attention all the way up beyond your brain into above the Sahasrara chakra. And settle yourself there. And And we can slowly open our eyes and complete today's meditation the same way we began, by raising our Kundalini. Three times. And then we can put the bandhan around ourselves to keep our state of meditation as long as possible as we go about our day. And thank you, everybody, for joining today. It was a pleasure for me to be here. And if anyone has any questions, I can hang around for a few more minutes. Or as Rahul's putting in the chat, if you need further support, it looks like we have the WhatsApp group that you can join.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
What's the first book that Sri Mataji was talking about?
I'm sorry, could you say it again?
What is the first book? She mentioned there's a first book, like it's like she was giving like the steps like to read the Bible.
The first book which she was referring to this was back from 1983. So at that time there was an introductory book that we would hand out to people at programs, at the free programs that she conducted. So I think she was just referring to, there's actually not a curriculum, so to speak, of Sahaj books, but there are some online resources. I'm not sure, maybe Rahul can tell you where you might be able to find some written resources online. Where obviously, because this is a virtual meditation session, we're not handing out books. But it was just an introductory book about Sahaja Yoga and about most of the things that you've been learning through these sessions, about the chakras, about the channels, and about how they reflect onto your hands, and all of that kind of information. So I hope that answers your question.
Yes, another question. She talks about visions. What is like the vision she was talking about? Is it like people who are like clairvoyant, clairsentient? Is that what she was talking about?
What she's talking about, visions that come, not necessarily welcome, but just like seeing visions, like seeing colors. Or one boy she mentioned was seeing auras. So having a vision that it's like outside of the realm of day-to-day reality, which I guess some people have experienced. I've never experienced. So she's basically saying that's we're off center. If you're seeing something that's not a part of our living reality, then that's an off center experience, and that you want to address that.
Okay, and then my last, it's not a question, but it's just like a comment. So like I'm just wondering if you had that experience, of if anybody has that experience, like when you're thoughtless enough, do you feel that the Kundalini rising, like it's like in a one line, like rising to the spine, like cool vibration rising to your head?
Yeah.
Without you like putting your hand.
You say you are feeling that?
Yes, it's like there's a line. I feel it like rising. I can feel it.
That's great. Then you have a lot of sensitivity then. And some people are more sensitive in their bodies in that way. So if you're feeling actually the movement of the Kundalini within your body, then you have then that's great. You can really tell where your Kundalini is at and what's happening. That's not a vision. So That's a direct sensation on your central nervous system. Are you enjoying that experience?
Yes, and I noticed too, I'm thoughtless too. I like it.
Okay, great. Great. And you're feeling thoughtless and feeling, and feeling peaceful and everything. That's also a very important aspect. But if you're feeling vibrations in your central channel, that's great. Nothing like it. Thank you so much for your questions and for your contribution. Who was that talking? Could I ask?
Oh, sorry. My name is Jenny. I'm from Boston. I live in Boston.
You live in Boston?
Yes.
I live in Boston too. Have you been?
Oh, nice.
Yes, I live in Boston. Yeah. So we should get in touch.
Yes, nice.
Have you been to a program locally at all?
No, I've been mostly meditating using virtual with my mentor, Preeti, and then joining the Zoom.
Where do you live? What town do you live?
Oh, I never pay attention to that. I live in the south end,
In the south
like
end.
Back Bay. Yes,
Okay.
like Prudential area.
Okay. Yeah. So that's not too far. We have some yogis who live in Quincy and some in
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Let me give you my let's see, what would be the best way for us to be in touch? Let me give you my I guess, Rahul, I can't send a direct message to Jenny, but
Yes.
it seems like it's not letting me send a direct message to her. I'll just put my email in the chat. If you want to copy my email address, Jenny, and then send me a message, and we can see if we can include you in some of our local get-togethers.
Thank you.
Okay. It's nice to know that you're here.
Hello.
Yes.
Thank you for this beautiful meditation session.
Yes.
Happy New Year.
Yes. Hi, Samir.
How are you, sister?
Thank you for joining today.
Thank you for the beautiful meditation.
Okay, thank you all again one more time. Have a great day. Thanks to everybody who joined today and for all your comments. And thank you, Rahul, for taking care of everything in the background, the tech, running the video.
One last thing. I'm sorry to cut you off. I didn't get the email.
Oh, it's in the chat. Oh, I sent it to Rahul by accident. Sorry. Hang on, let me try again. Okay, there you go. Did you get it now?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. All right, thank you again. Thank you for checking about that. I really accidentally sent direct to Rahul. Thank you all again for joining. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And we'll see you next time.